chamidram Ruchi samudra girayosti sangha Virotarashto dharaye valomo Dharmastano dharmapatosya spashta Hastasya medham vishano chamidram Ruchi samudra girayosti sangha Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 2nd Canto, 1st chapter, 32nd verse, on the first step in God realization. This is the description of the Vishwa-Rupa, or Virat-Rupa, form of the Universal Lord. Modesty is the upper portion of his lips. Hankering is his chin. Religion is the breast of the Lord, and irreligion is his bag. Brahmaji, who generates all living beings in the material world, is his genitals, and the Mitra Varunas are his 2 testicles. The ocean is his waist, and the hills and mountains are the stacks of his bones. 4th, the Supreme Lord is not impersonal, as misconceived by less intelligent thinkers. Rather, He is the Supreme Person, as confirmed in all authentic Vedic literature. But His personality is different from what we can conceive. It is stated here that Brahmaji acts as his genitals, and the Mitra Varunas are his 2 testicles. This means that as a person he is complete with all bodily organs, but they are of different types with different potencies. For the Lord is described as impersonal. Therefore, He should be understood that His personality is not exactly the type of personality found within our imperfect speculation. One can, however, worship the Lord even by seeing the hills and mountains, or the ocean and the sky, as different parts and parcels of the gigantic body of the Lord, the Virat Purusha. The Virat Rupa is exhibited by Lord Krishna to Arjuna. Is a challenge to the unbelievers. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Thus ends Bhaktivedanta Swami translation purport Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 2:132, first step in God realization. So the meditation of the Virat Rupa continues. They got verse 29, verse 40. All this 34, 36, 32. 16, 22. They're discussing Sita Dasi just told me that the special yoga room they opened up in Sydney is the regular participants in Hatha Yoga, as well as the bhajan sessions. In the future we can have Rupa Yoga. So many people really like the universe. They like to meditate on the sunrise. How to turn that into a meditation on the Rupa, Purusha. The first step in God realization is to try to see you see the hills, you think there's the bones of the Virat Rupa. When you see somebody modest, that's the upper portion of his lips. And somebody see someone with a very prominent chin. The anchoring of the Lord. Exactly why. But it makes a lot of sense that Brahma is his reproductive organ. You can think anymore of Brahma. He can't populate not only our planet, but all the planets. All over the universe, all over the unlimited galaxies. There's so many different kinds of living entities. We don't even know about much, except for the Vedas. Sometimes you see these, what's it called, time-lapse, you show a picture of a plant growing, time-lapse, right? And to take a picture instead of normally you take pictures of moving 16 or 24 frames a second. Now instead they make the movie taking one frame every hour. Then you put it all together and see 3 months of growth in a few seconds. So from the universe's point of view, the ages going by are like the movements of the clock, seconds. It's like everything is being seen. But since the universe is so old, you have to see it as a time lapse. And that's the moments when the universe forms life. One point here is that Supreme Lord is not impersonal. It's a person. So this is the first step. First you start to see that the whole universe is like a gigantic body of the Lord and is a person. And then the next higher step of realization eventually leads to coming to the personal form. We have what's missing is modern yoga. Very impersonal. Even in other religions, it's become very impersonal. Prabhupada considered that Christians and Muslims were also a kind of Vaishnavas because they believed in one God. But more and more followers of other religions also consider God as impersonal. And a Christian priest who had an impersonal concept. That way they can explain away why there is suffering in the world, but God is not a person. Although it says in the Bible, God the Father, God the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Having this treasure of the Holy Quran, which is so many quotations from the Quran. Allah is a person, which is what Lord Chaitanya says in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Allah is a person. Many people don't think that. So here, the first step of realization is to see the universe as a personal manifestation of the universal form of the world. It's thinking of the exhibition point of view, how the making artificial show universal form of personal life. People have the technology that have an experience, a universal form experience. Prabhupada said it's a challenge to unbelievers. Even many people didn't make out that it's so significant. Most people are believers, but many people claim to be unbelievers, claim to be atheists. Some of the leaders of this state. And how can you not believe in the universe? We're living in the universe, so it's something that people are faced with. In this universe, as some personality, if you look at it from the vision of the Śrīmad Rupa, Hatha Yoga is the beginning of the Ashtanga Yoga, eightfold yoga system. Most people don't know that there's another 7 aspects to yoga. Following rules and regulations, yama, pratiyama, pranayama, breathing exercises. Now, pranayama has become very popular. There are some teachers, contemporary teachers, who are promoting pranayamas and meditation. But don't promote so much, a little bit. Pranayama to work, they say you should have a lifestyle of all the sins. Again, most of these people are in person. Where original Ashtanga Yoga system to meditate on the Vishnu form. There's details on the meditations for the Ashtanga yogis, meditating on the toenails of Vishnu. Beautiful toenails which are like white pearls, glistening. Like this, it gives the details and you meditate on each aspect of the form of the Lord. That's a very personal, direct personal meditation recommended for the Ashtanga yogis. Meditating the super soul in the heart is so beautiful. That's in a more advanced sense. This is just meditating on the universe. fast. Notice places, light, day and night, and the moving of its eyebrow. So, this is one way trying to see the whole universe as a form of the Lord. Train the people to meditate. This, eventually move up to the Paramatma, and finally they move up to the personality of Godhead. Well, Prabhupada says that you don't see material things, when you look, you see Krishna. Well, once he said it can be Krishna conscious. Even the drunkards can be Krishna conscious, the drinkers. They like to drink the alcohol. And Krishna says that the sweet taste in liquids, raso viham. So whatever they like in their liquid, their beverage, that's attractive to them. That essence is Krishna. So seeing all the essence of all the interesting, wonderful things in the universe, just a fraction of Krishna's beauty, fraction of Krishna's attractive nature. Finally, when you get to realize Krishna, he's all attractive. When you see the trees, well, we don't see trees. You see Krishna. Those are the hairs on the body of Krishna, is universal form. So whenever you look around, everything you see the river, you see the veins of the universal form. This universal form should be the worshipable deity of the ecologists, environmentalists. Because we're messing around with the universe. We're creating all this disturbance in the natural. This is a record cold weather even for Russia, super cold. It's super hot in the summer, super cold. The global warming is changing the movements of the ocean current. They say that this we put freeze over Europe happened historically before. For 100,000 years there was like an ice age. But thanks to that they're exploiting the universe from the sense gratification without thinking about the ecological. Because we respect the universe to be the form of the Lord, part of our religion is to be environmental. I'm not saying that the Holy practice and this morning I handed this tissue, gave it to the secretary, took it. Japan, they got so many different, they got 4 or 5 different containers, plastics, paper, organics, and even in the airport, I couldn't figure out which one was what. They told me it's written on the side, the top of it was written in Japanese. Eventually we had to come up. Principle. Come par with all this. However, we don't have a system to put it in. We can't have our own recycling. Because the government doesn't have any garbage collection. or the village. The principle supported by the Vedas. That's we had in 1997, January 1. It's the end of Prabhupada's centennial, 1996. We had the Synthesis of Science and Religion Congress, World Congress, in Calcutta. We were in the Science City, one of the first functions of Science City. And by then, it was Science City. And closing address by one dean from America, Knoxville, New York, in the Spanish University. And this keynote address for having discussion with all the different religions and scientists present has other religions. He said like this: we have found Vedic religion exceptionally compatible with environmental sustainability. We should be sustainable in the quality of the environment. What do the other religions have to say? How they're going to come up to par with the Vedic religion? How they're going to catch up? It's Christian. Right, interesting. But they could see, because all this, we should learn to practice more with preach, but it's not the main preaching we do, so we may glance over this. But now that we're going through the second canto, every verse, every day, for almost over a month, is universal form. We're getting like in the meditation of, we should treat the universe nice because it's Krishna. Demons that took the earth out of the planet by disrupting the fire at the center of the earth. Now we're running out of petroleum products. We don't know what in the future, what this petroleum does or when it's going to be needed. The fire in the center of the earth, burning. Maybe take it all out, so now after I don't know how long it takes to get down to the core of the earth. And we'd be missing most what it does to our whole situation. There's a lot of things we do that are not sustainable, which in the past, right, in the Vedic history, disrupted the orbit and disrupted the movement of the earth. So we have an advantage point, because for us, the universe in itself is a form of the Lord. We should treat it as property of the Lord, as a part of the Lord. One of his aspects. What things we use, we should use in a favorable way, we should use in a way. Just like we say we don't have a right to kill animals. Especially not in the slaughterhouses. There's only very limited options for killing an animal. So what we're reading here, you can see that it's a platform that we can use for preaching in a very broad sphere. Maybe some of these unbelievers, Christians, they believe in the universe. Believe in universal form. That would be the first step for them to understand that there is a God. There is a universe. The universe breathes, moves, and everything happens in certain cycles. It's like you want to see somebody that's alive, their chest is moving, the heart is beating. Okay, they're alive. It's some life symptoms. This whole universe is alive. It's like the big body of the Lord. Some places in the universe are so burned out that in the desert, it's like dead. Even in the desert, it's working. So that we can shine today. See the Jayapataka. Feel the presence of the Lord everywhere. It's one of the steps in self-realization. Devotees, they feel the presence of the Lord everywhere by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. This chanting, Vajra Yoga has become very popular. So we're very happy to do. Vajras are getting more people participating in the yoga movement and the bhakti movement. Shri is Vajra Yoga. That's what he did in Hash's Prabhupada. Vajra Yoga. Started the program. We're still going on. Any questions? Comments?
What's the difference between this universal form here in the second canto and the one that Krishna shows us in the Bhagavatam?
Well, this one is the descriptions. May not be the difference, but the description. This one goes much more detail. On each part of the universe correlates to each part of the Lord. It's almost like an allegorical meditation on the universe as being the form of the Lord. Where the purpose of the universal form in the Bhagavad-gita was to show Arjuna that Krishna was the source of this universal. It is a universal form. He's the source of it before he is God. And also show that how he's destroying everything, including all the people on the other side of the path. Even with all that, including that. Convince Arjuna that he should fight. That universal form is described. I don't know how many verses into it. 9, 12. Here we're at verse 33. We're still. The whole chapter is 30 verses. Chapter 11.
Really like it. Yeah, it's really funny. And it's so peaceful to be there.
This is different. This is more peaceful. Peaceful perspective, peaceful vision. That one's pretty. This is like you're just seeing all the universe and all these different parts of the universe are parts of the universal form. Since Krishna has different universal forms also. There's the one he showed to the 3-year-old that proves says the proof show a lot of universe. You can do a study of that system. What's the difference between this universal form the artist in artistic interpretation. Yeah, what's that? Saraswati. The lady.
When I had to go from the point about garbage, because I was staying like 2 minutes from there, and I take my garbage every morning to this one, because otherwise it just ends up next to the house, and nothing is being done with it. So I was just wondering, does the GBC or the community of the Goats, do they have plans to discuss like the development of the integration of the unity here in Māyāpur, and like do they have plans for this city, how the infrastructure, how it's going to develop, like economically, all these aspects? I was wondering.
Economically. You say economically or ecologically?
Oh, everything.
They've done studies. There's a master plan, and we're supposed to, because if we take the water from the subsoil, which we're doing now, and filtering it, the more we take water from the subsoil, it exposes minerals in the summer, and that brings out arsenic in the water. They find that there's not only arsenic in our water, there's fluoride. We have poisonous levels of fluoride and arsenic in certain. So that's our plan in the long run is to pump in water from the Ganges and allow it to stand for 10 days in different caves. And then we have to devise a cloth filter because a normal filter somehow amplifies the Ganges. Ganges has a self-purifying nature. We've done studies and it takes 9 days to bring it down. This is the normal Ganges that flows today because of all the organic waste that people are throwing into it. And the one, I don't know if it changed, we should periodically test. But 60,000 units of bacteria and one E. coli, someone had mostly E. coli the first day. The second day E. coli died. And it was down to 30,000, 15,000. Every day it would go down. So it took 9 days to come down to 60. Less than 100 bacterias or whatever unit they test is considered potable water saved by the WHO. We did all kinds of studies, but who's following up on it? That's supposed to be the SMPDC job to design all these things. I know they designed a water filter system that was based on this. I don't know. I never heard about the garbage system exactly. I mean, I know that there was a study made, but I don't know. I didn't know. Nobody told me what was their solution for the problem they're facing. But there was a study made. Right now we got other problems which are more acute. But we'll probably have an issue to go through sometime. See what happens. But as far as the economy, I think there's a periodic studies needed. My idea was that the province the province are maintained by the community and the don't have so many judges. They also have serving the community. Vaishyas, we need some Vaishyas to be entrepreneurs. we're talking about, we have a Mayapur bank where we have to give loans out, microcredit. Somebody wants has an idea to start some kind of business. We really want devotees to create employment opportunities for the other grihastas that live in the community. And recently, Ambrish proposed the government making a 24-acre cottage industry park, which would not only employ Mayapur devotees, but also Mayapur villagers. That is, we don't know what's going to happen at this point. Some potential problems. So, if there are devotees, we can do is we can create. We can have a Mayapur Seva, somewhere called Mayapur Seva. Mayapur Community Seva, something like that. And they're supposed to initiate different kinds of discussions from the grihastas of the community on ways and means that we can develop economically and other aspects of the community. We have a lot of hope that they'll organize some discussions that goes to different things on how to develop our community in the right direction. This time we always tend to focus more on crisis management. Putting out forest fires when they come up. Since we always have so many fires burning, keep us busy. But that's where the management here, there's sometimes a little bit of misunderstanding between what's the relationship between Mayapur Temple and Mayapur Development Committee. Because the development committee doesn't have to deal with management. They did a lot of studies on that. The problem is sometimes there's a lack of communication between the development and the community. What we feel we need. They plan something out, somebody hears an aspect. Where's the playground? Where's the street? Something that left something out. So we're trying to get awareness of the Mayapur community Sevas. Get some feedback from the community what the areas that need developed, which things. And if it's a futuristic thing, then we can give that to the planning committee, digest. If it's something that's more immediate, then we can try to deal with it now. Apart from this, in our village area, we have this Mayapur, I made that one of the services here before they went around and tested all the village wells, find out which well was poisonous. I don't know if they certainly did that, I don't know what they did with it. I don't see any like red wells or green wells or anything. I don't know if they actually, they were supposed to. They asked them about. They're supposed to be green, yellow, red. If it wasn't good to drink red, if it was borderline yellow, if it was okay. But there's in our campus, 10 years ago, I think it's time for a new one. there was a test of every well. Half of our wells, some of the wells in the Grihastha area are totally unpotable. 10 times more arsenic than recommended by the World Health Organization. 100 times. So if you don't know what your well is, SMPDC somewhere has a test. At one time we informed everybody, some people what to make. That's why we have bottled water with reverse osmosis. That's the only thing that takes out the heavy metals. We have technology challenges. Thank you very much. Yeah?
Was it inside that experience of Śrī Māyāpur be an example for the whole world of that community? Is that part of the plan?
I think in the 1970s it wasn't a big topic because it was today. Principle, you wanted it very clean, you wanted it very sustainable. Same that now they have, it's all been done by the culture. The things that he was talking about were ecological. Disposing of the garbage properly. And he wasn't like presented in any hard suit and others. I don't remember him presenting it in a sophisticated way like they do it now, physical buzzwords. But the principle, that's the kind of direction it was taking. The focus was not so much, it was more on the spiritual city, but we can get potentially grants, potential aid, we can get mileage for preaching, but we do make it an eco-friendly village, town. Even as we're preaching, we don't look at the liar and find the direction that we're planning to go. Various reasons. Find it's favorable with focus. So the principal focus, and most importantly, we have an ecologically favorable township that can only be disposed of their purpose. I will focus on the spiritual side, but this would be one side of life. So that
Prabhupada was emphasizing simple living and right thinking. And the principle of self-sufficiency developed in the last 30 years, a bit, on a governmental level. But
Thank you for watching our videos. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.